What up guys, Ali here and welcome to Ali Talks Music. Add me on Instagram and Ali Talks Music as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. From rapper to a trendy fashion designer that you can't overlook in the fashion world, here is a comprehensive yet concise story of the lady most persons know as Lil Debbie.
Everybody know I'm a pretty mother.
Lil Debbie was born to an American-Italian home as Jordan Capozzi in the 90s. She spent most of her early childhood in a community called Albany in California. As stated earlier, she was born in an American-Italian home which offered her dual citizenship, Italian by birth and American by naturalization. After graduating from high school, she went to study fashion design at FIDM. Fashion design was a family tradition for her. Lil Debbie came from a long ancestral line of tailors, with a father who was a musician. Taking inspiration from both worlds, Lil Debbie sought to make a career out of both. Lil Debbie once recalled during an interview that she used to be a baby model. Although she hated doing it as a kid, she eventually grew into it and used the platform to create her career path. "I was born and nurtured in fashion. I was a baby model, and I hated it when I was a baby. It is still funny that now it's part of what I do, but I guess that's inevitable. It was beautiful growing up with my mom." After realizing that the fashion world takes a lot of work, she eventually left the fashion academy due to the compelling stress and plethora of assignments. Although she knew that her true passion was in the fashion world, she decided to take a dive into music. It was there that her career took off. Lil Debbie met 3 people that influenced her music career, but we'll talk about that in a second. When she was in her hometown, she knew many people that dropped out of the fashion academy. Suddenly, she started receiving comments like, "You look exactly like that girl." Or comments like, "There's this girl that looks exactly like you and she acts the same way you do too." Comments like this became very frequent for Lil Debbie. On the flip side, a particular lady named Natasha had saved up money for her apartment and a laptop that she used to learn sound engineering and video editing. After learning how to use the software, Natasha started producing great videos and sounds that would later catch the attention of many. Due to her video editing and sound production progress, Natasha started her own YouTube channel and branded herself with the name Kreayshawn. Natasha chose the name because it sounded like creation. From then on, she started channeling all her energy into her production and YouTube channel and created sounds and videos that made her go viral.
Rockin' in the club, catch me on an elephant. Young Kreayshawn got me, but I feel so elegant.
That's when she met Lil Debbie. When Lil Debbie eventually heard and met her lookalike Natasha, who popularly goes by the name Kreayshawn, and Vanessa, who goes by the name V-Nasty, she instantly got along with them and they bonded almost immediately. After that, Lil Debbie spent a lot of time with V-Nasty and Kreayshawn. They became friends and started to share similar hobbies and interests. Because Kreayshawn was putting a lot of effort into her YouTube channel, it began growing and eventually the views began growing as well. Eventually she started getting attention from certain rappers and her music spread like wildfire on a local level. Before the release of Kreayshawn's Gucci Gucci video,
Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. I'm looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana.
Lil Debbie started working with her. Lil Debbie became like a personal assistant to Kreayshawn in the videos they made. Eventually, V-Nasty, Lil Debbie, and Kreayshawn formed a group. They also started recording party videos, ones which eventually took off. Basically, I was with Kreayshawn everywhere, helping her almost like an assistant. We made music for rappers, and soon enough we started rapping. Then we would go out and do some party videos. It was just basic day-to-day with each other. People started taking interest and liking the videos, and that's what our lives were like. 2011 became a memorable year in Lil Debbie's career. During this year, she appeared in the Gucci Gucci music video alongside Kreayshawn. This single was the first song of Kreayshawn's debut studio album, Something About Kray. The song took off. At the time when Kreayshawn posted the music video, she had 6,000 subscribers, but by the end of the night it started to grow. When she posted the video initially, it got about 10,000 views. It was a moderate success at first, but it eventually blew up. It didn't take long for the video to reach 40 million views on YouTube. It was the everyday sensation at the time. The viral video got a lot of attention for Kreayshawn, Lil Debbie, and V-Nasty. Aside from the video editing that Kreayshawn brought to the table, Lil Debbie also used her talents as she was the fashionista and designer of the group. During an interview, she said the following: "Yeah, I styled the video. I came in with all the clothing and picked out what she was going to wear. I even brought stuff from my house to style the video. When Columbia Records came knocking at Kreayshawn's door, she snatched the opportunity to sign with them. During the year that Gucci Gucci went viral and became a sensation, Lil Debbie, Kreayshawn, and V-Nasty formed a group called White Girl Mob. This was right after V-Nasty was released from prison after she was nabbed for stealing a pick and pull. The name White Girl Mob started out as a joke. However, eventually it stuck permanently. Like most groups in the hip-hop world, it became time for White Girl Mob to dismantle. According to Lil Debbie, the group broke up due to miscommunication. Lil Debbie admitted that she was not the best at communicating her thoughts at the time. She basically did what she was told, something that became counterproductive at the end of the day. Mainly the business side of it. They wanted me to be a DJ, and I was like, yeah, I can try it. But I didn't want to be a DJ. It wasn't my thing, and I didn't know how to tell Kreayshawn that. I didn't know how to communicate that to her. I didn't want to disappoint her. It was one of the crucial things that kind of changed our friendship. Now, Lil Debbie and V-Nasty were on good terms when the beef began. However, the rift between Debbie and Kreayshawn started to take its toll. So much so that V-Nasty and Lil Debbie also fell out. It got to a point when Lil Debbie was not pulling her weight or giving the same energy to the group. As mentioned earlier, Lil Debbie did not want to be a DJ. She felt better being in the club than in the studio. She would party frequently and miss White Girl Mob events, even those that had paid in advance for her presence. Kreayshawn eventually kicked Lil Debbie out of the group, and the White Girl Mob eventually became a duo. Now this reminds me of the time Naturi left 3LW because the group was experiencing a lot of inner conflict. All I have to say is whenever a member leaves the group, like when the game left G-Unit, that is never a good look in the eyes of the public. After a while, due to anxiety, Kreayshawn's time in the spotlight began to fade, leaving V-Nasty to step up to the plate. After that, it wasn't long until White Girl Mob was no more. After Lil Debbie was kicked out of White Girl Mob, she received a lot of backlash from her former teammates. She didn't just lose her longtime friends, she had to deal with a lot of backlash on social media as well, something she was not accustomed to. This is what she had to say during an interview. "I'm not going to claim I was right in everything. I lost my best friends, and it was painful to deal with. I had to also deal with seeing social media posts of them saying hurtful things to me. Sometimes you would want to question yourself, you know? You begin to question who you are. I even had to deal with Vanessa calling me and saying things like, the only reason you're known is because you're Kreayshawn's lookalike. It really hurt me so bad." Now after being kicked off White Girl Mob, Lil Debbie collaborated with Riff Raff. She did several songs with Riff Raff, including Squirt,
Squirt, squirt, squirt. Got ice by the block, too hot. Now I'm in the kitchen, crock pot.
Brain Freeze,
Gave me brain freeze, gave me brain freeze, gave me brain freeze.
Lil Debbie, Lil Debbie.
Michelle Obama,
Presidential 10.
Michelle Obama, presidential 10, Michelle Obama.
and Suckers Asking Questions.
Suckers asking questions, still flex, still talking to me like I need suggest.
It's a kid, Lil Debbie.
The videos for the singles Squirt, 2 Cups, and Got a Ball spread like wildfire on YouTube. Each of the videos got over 2 million views on YouTube and created a space for Lil Debbie in the hip-hop world. Around 2012, she released her mixtape called Keep It Lit. And around 2013, she released a single called I Do It.
I'm on 10 rags. I ain't tripping off nothing, I'm trying to tell you. I do it, get mine, I do it, get mine, I do it.
Now when I think of Lil Debbie, the song that comes to mind is 2 Cups.
All I need is 2 cups of saline and a bad bitch just to roll 'em.
The 2 Cups video said the following. This is the type of song you turn up at home, but pretend like you hate it when you're with the squad. Now I won't lie, 2 Cups is a very simplistic yet catchy song. With lyrics like, probably in the scrape with the foes up under, we keep it on the low, I'm trying to stay on the under. It's clear that Lil Debbie was not trying to drop savage bars, but was gearing towards club hits. Now around 2013, Lil Debbie showed up for an interview with Sway. She spoke about her upcoming music and even played some tracks for the public to judge.
This is garbage, Sway.
You
Come
know?
on, man. You got this fake ass rapper on there, dude. You're crazy.
Oh, come on, Stewie. Get out of here, man.
Let's just say things did not go very well for Lil Debbie. In fact, one hilarious caller named John from Tennessee called into the show to talk about how he dislikes Lil Debbie's music.
John in Tennessee, go ahead. What you want to say?
That is fucking trash, dog. Get the off the airwaves.
Oh, come on, man.
Can someone please find John from Tennessee? This guy is a living legend. During her interview, Lil Debbie was asked if she writes her own lyrics.
Do you write? Do you write your own music?
I work with writers and they help me out, and you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I write all my own stuff.
Okay.
But you write some of your stuff.
Yes, and I do come up with concept ideas.
Now my thinking is, if you're an artist and you have a writer or a team of writers and your music doesn't even compare to people who write their own, then you need to fire your writer. Get another one. The One You Got Ain't Working. Now, after the release of her mixtape, Lil Debbie began focusing on dropping EPs. Around 2013, she dropped her first EP called Queen D. Around 2014, Lil Debbie dropped 2 EPs called California Sweetheart and California Sweetheart Part 2. By the close of November 2014, Lil Debbie released her second mixtape called Young. So far, Lil Debbie drops music and pursues other business interests. Around 2015, she released a single on iTunes called Lofty.
One time I could straight fly, lofty, I could touch sky, IQ about 0.5.
And in the same year, she debuted her line of baked goods called Cakes. Around 2017, Lil Debbie released her 4th mixtape called 23.
Today, I made my money in a new way.
Now, Lil Debbie is somewhat active in the music industry and even more involved in the fashion industry. Her last music video that came out is called I Don't F With Him, which came out about 8 months ago.
I got a bone to pick, yo.
Lil Debbie still drops music and seems to vlog on her YouTube platform from time to time. Lil Debbie gets about 82k monthly listeners on Spotify, and her most popular songs on the platform are Say My Name, Bright Lights, So Fly, Break It Down, and Money Dance. That's it for me, man. It's your boy Ali. What happened to Lil Debbie in your opinion? Let me know down below. If you have a video request, be sure to let me know as well. New What Happened to video dropping next week. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. Till next time, peace.